Hello, and welcome to this week's Movie Math, where this year, Super Bowl weekend, usually bad for movie-going, and Valentine's Day weekend, usually good for movie-going, are back-to-back. They're the same damn weekend. Do they cancel each other out? And of course, sprinkle a little COVID on this whole mess. Now, today is the Super Bowl. Super Bowl Sunday. But it ain't Valentine's Day yet, and Hollywood has their fingers crossed that just maybe you would like to go to the movies for Valentine's Day, which is Monday night. What are your Valentine's Day plans? Do they involve a trip to the multiplex? Or does streaming have too romantic a night at home for you to resist? Speaking of love, you still love Spider-Man No Way Home most of all. That's your sweetheart. And with just a 25% drop in its 9th frame, they were so smart to push Morbius. It's $1 million away from passing up Avatar to take the number 3 spot on the all-time domestic chart. It's gonna do it! Avatar 2 better be good. Now, as for this weekend's 3 new releases, did they get jilted at the altar? Did they fumble the ball? Not really. They all pretty much performed as one would expect, because they're just not great movies. That's right, Hollywood cheaped out on your Valentine's Day gifts this year. First, Death on the Nile was the biggest movie to enter the marketplace, and it's been held for a very long time due to COVID, the Disney Fox deal, and scandal. It has the exact same cinema score as Murder on the Orient Express, a middling B. Ouch, not even a B+. Once you get below a B+, your movie's got problems. But what Death on the Nile lacks is Murder on the Orient Express's star-studded cast. I know who done it! The Knives Out franchise has swiped all of Kenneth Branagh's stars. A little competition there. And while it's easy to blame Armie Hammer for this, underperforming film, it's not like he was a draw before his scandal. In fact, he was really not doing well. And outside their big franchise roles, Gal Gadot and Letitia Wright have not been able to become box office draws either. But Death on the Nile is still a very pretty, slick package. So it could end up, I think, doing quite well. I think it's, a little like Kingsman. Some of you wrote me and said you really liked Death on the Nile. Some of you said it was a stinker. It should have sunk to the bottom of the Nile. But I think people were equally divided about the approach that Matthew Vaughn took with the new Kingsman. So let's see how these movies do, because they are very well produced. Let's see how they do when they hit streaming. Disney Plus or Hulu, and of course HBO Max, because they're Disney Fox movies simultaneously. That's what Disney's been doing. They worked out that deal with HBO Max. Who knows how they do on HBO Max, because that's locked behind a purple curtain, but we'll see how they do on Disney Plus when we get to the Nielsen charts for their releases. Now, ironically, I want to take a side note, put a little side trip here, because I think Knives Out 2, which has gone to Netflix, aka streaming, I think that it's a sequel that would have done very well at the box office. Maybe. It would have to have the perfect release date. This one takes place in Greece, so it would need to be a summer release. The first one, I think, was helped out significantly by its Thanksgiving release, because the movie itself had such a Thanksgiving holiday feel. It was sweater weather, and in the movie. It was great. That sweater was one of the big stars of the movie. And I think that Rian Johnson and company, I hope they realize how much the holiday feel and season factored into the first film's success. Very interesting to see that made. We'll see if Netflix tries to do a theatrical release with that, but who at theater will carry it? Movie theaters are still not playing ball with Netflix because they have too short a window. Usually they try to do it with Red Notice, but Netflix will really only release their awards contenders in theaters, just a handful of them, so they qualify for Oscars. Anyway, as for Marry Me, which at least got a B+, it managed to get a B+, it debuted day and date in theaters and on Peacock Premium. Its box office is actually right in line with J-Lo's smaller flicks. And Owen Wilson isn't really a draw in this type of picture. He doesn't do a lot of romantic comedies. Peacock Premium doesn't have a lot of subscribers per their last report, but with the Olympics on Peacock Premium as well, Universal is hoping that as long as people are subbed for the Olympics, maybe they'll take a break and watch Marry Me at no extra cost, because they've already paid to upgrade to the premium service. Marry Me is in a photo finish with Jackass Forever for second place. Everyone's putting it at third right now, but it's so close that, Monday morning on Valentine's Day, fittingly, it could maybe be number 2. Jackass Forever fell 65% in its second weekend and therefore will likely be on Paramount Plus A lot of P's. Paramount Plus, very, very soon. But Moonfall fell 71% in its second weekend. That's like not that much more, but having a seven in front of your drop is pretty bad. The $100 million plus movie for its budget, not including advertising, by the way, is at about $21 million worldwide and is pretty much out of gas already. I don't think it's getting to the moon. Man, if only it weren't for comic book movies, I'm sure this would be a huge hit, said nobody. Roland Emmerich. What a hoot. All right, so Liam Neeson's Blacklight, did that come out? Debuted exactly on par with his other pandemic flick, The Marksman. So, hey, as long as just some of you aren't tired of watching these, Liam Neeson ain't tired of making them. I don't know. I think he's really ground his image into the ground at this point. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? I think he's like so close to getting a streaming show. But, I mean, he has to make so many movies, he pretty much does have a streaming show. Over on streaming, let's start with Nielsen as usual for the second week of January, with Cobra Kai still number 1, but the new season of Cheer pushed The Witcher back a spot to number 3. Still very strong, though. People catching up on The Witcher after the No Way Home hype apparently died down a little bit. It was a mistake to release that opposite No Way Home. The Book of Boba Fett is holding steady from last week, still at number 5. As for movies, Encanto is still a very strong number 1, while Don't Look Up finally lost its hold a little bit and slipped to number 4. Amazon took the second spot that week with a solid performance. It's not as strong as Encanto, anywhere near, but it's a solid performance. Hey, at least it's number 2 for Sony's Hotel Transylvania 4. Would it have been stronger with Adam Sandler if it had been released closer to Halloween? But it's still nice for Amazon to have a movie so high up on the chart. Let's move over to Netflix's charts, where the number 1 movie last week was The Tinder Swindler. I watched that Friday night. I thought it was like very cheeky Valentine's Day programming, and it's as crazy and interesting as Tiger King. I think if it was a series instead of like a movie documentary, it would maybe be as big as Tiger King. It's really good. If you're looking for something fun to watch, if you don't want something too sweet for Valentine's Day, it's a really good choice. On the TV side, Kristen Bell rose from second to first place, while still all 4 seasons of Ozark are in the top 10 worldwide. And on iTunes, Lady Gaga can laugh. Well, she's not going to laugh about this, but she can feel a little better. That even though she got snubbed by the Oscars, her movie is still the second highest on the list of Oscar contenders, awards contenders, after Dune, which of course is an Oscar darling, after Power of the Dog. Those, of course, are Netflix movies, so they're over on the Netflix charts. Although, well, we'll see next week if any of the Netflix Oscar contenders rose back up into their top 10. But anyway, Belfast is the only other awards contender to pop into the top 10 thanks to Oscar nominations. Again, could not finish that movie. If you liked it, I'm glad for you. While King Richard almost made it, but it's at number 11, edged out by Ford v Ferrari, which is the top movie in Apple's sale of sports movies for Super Bowl weekend, $4.99 a piece. Nice choice, everyone. I love Ford v Ferrari. As for this coming weekend, Uncharted is the big movie for President's Day weekend. It already debuted this weekend, where the Super Bowl isn't a factor, in several countries overseas, and had a solid pandemic-y start, but it was still number 1 in every country it debuted in. Tom Holland has struggled at the box office outside of his Spider-Man movie, so it's time to see if No Way Home has finally leveled him up to movie star status. Channing Tatum, who is trying to revive his career this year, he has the Sandra Bullock movie coming up in March too, but he has feel-good movie Dog up first. By the way, this has sneak peeks tomorrow night for Valentine's Day at 7 p.m. in many theaters, so if you do want to head to the multiplex for Valentine's Day, this is an option. Also on Peacock, a lot of stuff, a lot of activity happening on Peacock, maybe because they know everyone's going to be subscribed for the Olympics, so they're like, hey, watch something else. Well, they'd love you to watch Bel Air, which dropped today, and people are watching it. It's trending top 10. I'm so happy to see most people saying, hey, this is actually really good. It's excellent. The first 3 episodes are up. I've watched the first 3. I reviewed them during the live stream on Friday. It's a surprisingly good show. Will Smith, great businessman. Check it out. And streaming is also eager to take advantage of the upcoming President's Day weekend, with so much dropping on Friday. Disney Plus has the Mickey Mouse and Friends special for winter. I'm going to watch that for sure. Amazon has the first 2 episodes of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel Season 4. I got screeners for those. I checked them out. A little annoying. I don't like it when shows go to annoyance for comedic effect. It's never funny. But I love being in that world, and if you do too, you'll still enjoy the episodes. Apple TV likewise has the first 2 episodes of Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller's behind the camera for this star-studded Severance. That looks interesting to me. And Netflix has season 2 of Space Force, renewed against all odds. I'm so excited. And it also has producer Fede Alvarez. Fede Alvarez worked on the story and is producing here. He's in direct of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Ooh, is everyone going to get grossed out on Friday? And that's this week's Movie Math. What have you been watching? What do you plan to watch? And again, what are your entertainment plans for Valentine's Day? Share those thoughts down below, subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos, including, by the way, Super Bowl coverage. Intense Super Bowl coverage tonight of all the spots that haven't already dropped. That leaves pretty much whatever Disney's going to do, and then also Lord of the Rings. And maybe something from Netflix. So make sure you're subscribed so that you can check out those videos when I drop them tonight, reactions and breakdowns. And of course, as always, you can check out some other videos right now.